pretty good at drinking beer. I'm pretty good at drinking beer.
Guys, it's Sunday, and it's the Dogfish Head series special. But before I do that, I have to say you guys are going to get privy to this long before the Ebomi side. Well, I don't know when I'm going to do a video on it, but either way, like usual, you guys get to see the shit before everybody else. So, just as a recap, if you remember what my Mosin Nagant started life looking like, it started looking just like this. And being that I have had two of them, when it came to sporterizing, I don't know which way. I mean, if there's going to be people out there, some of the purists, that no matter what are going to be ass hurt. I had some guy told me it should be punishable by death to do anything to a vintage rifle like this. Hey pal, you know what? I could probably go buy about 40 of these right here in town today, and I paid $89 for this one, and I paid $89 for the other one. So this is my rifle. Do what the hell you want with your own, is my thoughts on this. But at the time, I decided that I was going to go with the round one because this is the hex and this one's a little bit more rare. Some of you guys already know, as it turns out, the other one, being the round receiver, may actually be a lot more rare than this hex. But to each his own. Like I said, it's my rifle, and I was already into the project before I realized it, because the other one, don't know what its history is, if it was ever a sniper or not, but this rifle is definitely drilled for the scope mount, which means either it had been they didn't do anything special. The ones that were the sniper rifles, it wasn't like there was a special division for them. They just simply picked the rifles that were inherently going to have the better chance of being more accurate, and those are the ones that they drilled and mounted the scope mount on, which is what I determined in the process of cleaning this one up. Oops. But this is the end result. Custom turn down handle that Eric, Iraqi veteran 8888, did for me. You have the Rock Solid Industries mount on here, and this is their brand new one. It actually incorporates a Picatinny rail on top and on the side, and this was an early birthday present from Alec357, and this isn't the mount that I would have bought for myself, but luckily one of the two of us was thinking, because now I have a someplace to mount that GoPro camera that the girls got me for Christmas. We have the 11 plus hours of hand polishing, both the box mag and the receiver and the barrel, and I had my gunsmith thread the end, and I put a competition muzzle brake on there. This thing, according to the reviews that I've seen on it, has a significant reduction in felt recoil, which this is going to be a bench rest gun. And I also put the bipod on here, and this is the one that both twists left and right and allows the gun to swivel side to side. So, and these, I've seen these bipods sell for hundreds of dollars. And this is one of the Blackhawks, Hawks from Walmart. and it was $55. I decided to, then the scope is a Crossfire from Vortex. It's a 6 by 18 by 44, and because this is going to be a bench rest gun and not tracking through the woods with it, I decided I wanted to keep that. I don't know, I'm not really, I don't know, you can tell me what you think of the looks. It's on there more for function and not for form. You know, going to be bench resting, get the sun just right. That helps to keep the glare off of the front and keep it more clear. But that's, and today after I picked it up, I got bedding the action pillars from Rock Solid Industries, and it comes with their a different set of hex screws instead of straight blade screwdriver, so that at least if you had to take it apart without taking the scope off, you can. Holy cow, are those a pain in the ass, because this back bedding pillar actually leans at a little bit of an angle, and you're talking about having to open up a slot in the back of the stock to a 1/2 inch so that the pillars fit in there. I haven't done anything like putting something, you know, it's like the equivalent to a JB weld to lock everything in place. I don't know if I'll do that or not. And I also free floated the barrel. I don't know what had changed after I got done sanding and making sure everything worked really good, tightened everything down and checked it, and everything worked. And right now, if you start to slide something up, there's 2 ribs right there, and it wants to catch on those. Otherwise, a dollar bill will go all the way up to the Rock Solid mount. So I really cannot wait to get up and shoot this. That just, and once again, I went with a muzzle brake that is known to actually do something. It's not just for show, but I think it looks really nice, and that was polished too. So that's the before and after for a sporter job. Like I said, there's going to be people out there that are going to get their little tushies hurt, but you know what? The Mosin Nagant was always a lot of fun to shoot, but looking at one personally, I'm more kind of a black rifle guy, and I like the technology, and I wouldn't go back if I was paid to go back. I really like the way that turned out, so just wanted to show it to you guys first. Okay. It's like, oh, there they are. Oh, is Jerry here? That's the 90. $60 and the 120. And I know this fridge is really cold, so it's not going to hurt anything, I think, for them to sit out, because I don't think it's going to really be that long. And Bulwark, you're funny, man. The Dogfish Head, what would that be? He added them all up. Okay, let's open it with the Enterprise. Hasn't seen any action for a while. And the bottle caps are different for all these. That one's got the little Sharky, and it's kind of a golden brown. All 3 glasses. The other one of these is, I think, upstairs dirty, but all 3 glasses are all beer flavor enhancing, so they're all on the same playing field. And you guys leave in the comments on the whiskey review. thanks, man, for always proving me right and her wrong when it comes to situations like that. People aren't going to want to see me do this stuff. It's like, you know, she's funny and I love her, and it's fun to do shit like that. So I think what I'd really like to do is a few people, including Ms. Bomey, I know Wenda Birdman was one of the ones that had the comment right away about Crown Royal. And I think what, instead of doing 2 of something new, I think either next Saturday or the following Saturday, I think I'll get a thing of Crown Royal and put it up against that Weiser. Because that Weiser, if you go off of years and cost, should be the smoother one. But for some reason, I just, you know, it was good, but I just thought I remember the Crown Royal being even better. But holy shit, man! Once again, of course, didn't come as a surprise. It's actually one of Alex's favorite scotches. But Stripey, he was right on, and maybe someday as a treat to myself, I'll get that 18-year-old bottle. Of course, doing a little research on it, you can get all the way up to a 40-year-old bottle from them. But be prepared to spend as much as I paid for my pickup truck for a bottle of scotch. So as you see, it's good carbonation. They do have a nice, almost floral color to it. And then again, this is the Dogfish 60. So this is also thanks to Johnnie. That was a fun time. It was really nice of him. He brought a 6-pack. He bought the 3 so we could do this little 3 in a rower, and then he brought a hop rod rye for me, and 2. I've actually reviewed them before, and they're very good. Green Flash, black stout. So, cheers, guys. Okay, so I should not have reviewed this while I was coming back from the trip with the old flu, because this doesn't taste anything like I remember the other one. It's got that citrus up front, but it's fairly subdued. And I think that citrus kind of leans more on the pine side versus the grapefruit side. It does have followed right behind that kind of a little bit of a sweetness, but you more or less kind of get hit by a really nice smooth dry spot right in there. Then you get a little bit more of that sweetness. And kind of a citrus charge at the end. And then you're just kind of I always pause because you know how many times some of these ones with their complexity and their kind of roller coaster effect, you'd be like blurting out that you taste one thing, and then that completely goes away and you get a little bit of something else. Was way too much material for half of you. And I can see why a lot of people are a fan of the 60 on the big IPA picture for like a hop head scale. This one definitely, even though it kind of has a heavier citrus hit, is fairly smooth, fairly consistent, and doesn't really have a lot of intensity to it. I'm assuming I could be wrong. 6%. That, of course, that the alcohol would be stepping up as you go. 6, 9, and a zillion. I remember even what this one was. For some reason, I don't know why they don't put it on the 120, but It was 18 or 21%. So if if someone was hop curious, this would definitely be a good starting one. It's almost like on that time, kind of right in the middle, like I noticed before, but I'm not noticing it as much now as that bread, kind of right behind that that little dry smooth spot. I don't know why. If I had one here to open it and have it side by side, I'd probably be going, what the hell was I thinking? But right now, the 60 is kind of reminding me of Dale's from Oscar Blues. It's almost like a good Pilsner and a citrus kind of blended together. So you're getting kind of a lighter IPA, which, considering they make 3 of them, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Okay, next. What? Now, Dogfish Head 90. Let's see, what you're about to have here is an Imperial India Pale Ale, featuring a single constant 90-minute hop addition. It's balanced by a ridiculous amount of English 2-row barley. Then they dry hop it in every tank, 9%. And color matched. It's schmatching, color schmatching. I got the cap is red with the shark on this one. Again, Enterprise. I use the Big Sky Brewing Company, Missouri, Montana. Speaking of Bulwark 1911. And that is a definite step up, or step in some direction for color. More intense, more amber. This one's actually got a lot more carbonation. Maybe this one is more of a flavor-enhancing glass than the ones from Samuel Adams. This one also has a much heavier tropical fruit smell to it. This one starts to do that little coloration thing, whereas the liquid flows through the bubbles. It kind of leaves a darker orange. And the carbonation is still going. So, cheers. Oof. More citrus, that tropical fruit, and the sweetness. Again, at least for me right now, that it leans more on the piney side of the citrus. Like I said, tropical fruit, maybe a little bit of a caramel, and a more intense breadiness to it. And with that sweetness seems to like cancel out a little bit of that dryness. This one doesn't have quite that little valley of smooth and dry that takes place right in the middle. In the end is a nice mix of the sweet and the citrus and bread together. Yeah, well, right now, it's, I guess you go with what you go with. Right as of this very moment in time, if someone said, "Hey, I can send you some 60 or some 90, which one would you like?" I'll go with the 60 when you compare the two of them. I like it because it has a just a little bit more boldness in all of the flavors, and I kind of like that subtle tropical fruit caramel kind of sweetness versus kind of the dryness that the 60 gets you. Yeah, very good. Oh, is it in this one? Just take a break for a second. Made comment that Ms. Mommy had bought me something from the brewery. Sour in the Rye. 7.6% by volume. Sour rye ale aged in oak barrels. Delicious. Deliciously sour, bursting with spicy rye notes and hints of oak from the barrels that it was aged in. Unfiltered, bottle conditioned. Pretty much everything is from the brewery. Oh. And that was another one of theirs that wasn't on the wasn't exactly on the cheap. The hell is my camera doing? So help me if it's not recording right now. I'm gonna be upset. Might have to take a break and double check. It might be trying to tell me that the memory card is full, but in the event of failure, it should be jumping over to the internal one. But I'd rather take a moment, make sure that this is working as opposed to not have it turn out, because that would be a fail right there. Not saying I wouldn't want to go get a 60, 90, and 120 and just start over and redo this, but I've seen how that is. Okay, let's try that. Well, not again. Let's just continue, because yeah, there was just too much extra crap in there. So see, still in the same spot. Life is good. Yeah, I'd say the big difference between the 60 and the 90 is that step up in the citrus. Tropical fruit sweetness is more present. A little bit of caramel. The breadiness, you get a little bit more of that. I would say this one kind of more of a floral side to it. Damn good. You know what that means? The 120. It's got a big old hop on there. The rest of you that may have some 60s and 70s hanging on, that might look like something other than a hop. And the cap, again, is the little fish, but much more unique for this one. Almost looks like some kind of a diving symbol, or the fish is about to eat. Oh, excuse me. And why don't, just for the fun of it, why don't we open this one with the 50 cal round? These things aren't affecting me at all. Let's fire the Mosin. Okay. I know it's probably my imagination, but this one just seems like it has even a higher viscosity level to it. Overall, kind of about the same look as the 90. That murky, almost floral kind of quality and the colorness to it. Carbonation, you know, okay. Doesn't seem quite as lively, but maybe it was that glass from Montana that was doing it. Yeah. Smell? More of the big citrus, tropical fruit notes. Maybe just a hint of alcohol mixed in there. I don't know why. So, cheers, guys. The 120. Boy, when you have this with something else first. Bazinga! You know what I'm saying? This one, the biggest thing that you notice, on top of the fact that it's just got a, hey, there's some alcohol in here. Whoosh! It has a very, very heavy, kind of a medium to almost heavy kind of a sweetness, mouthfeel to it. Yeah, this is definitely a lot sweeter than the 90, and the 90 was definitely a lot sweeter than the 60. And that upfront intensity to it. You don't really get like an over, you know, like an Everclear kind of a alcohol kind of hit to it, but you definitely notice like the warming characteristics of it. I was kidding. I was pretending I was Johnny. That was a fun time. One of you made the comment, well, maybe you should have reviewed the old barrel aged stuff first. Well, would have been on a completely empty stomach, or we would have had to wait until after dinner to have anything, which means we would have lost out on 5+ hours of fun. So I can tell you though, that is intensely awesome beer. Old Numbskull barrel aged. It's just like, it only makes you want to try everything. I can only imagine what their Speedway Stout barrel aged is. Envious for the guys that have had a chance to even try that. Wow, this is just the citrus and that sweetness and the alcohol warming. Because of that heavy kind of sweetness, it never really has any kind of a dry area at all to it. There's a little bit of a bready kind of biscuit at the end, but it just kind of leaves you with the that sweet and citrus kind of together. You kind of can just feel that warming from the alcohol. Ooh, yeah. I can't even imagine what would happen if you like try to do just a 6-pack of these. How many have you had? I've had 5. It's like the first time I ever had something that was 10%, because I didn't know that it was 10%, and it was on an empty stomach. It was the kids and the wife were gone, and it was just me and our first Jack Russell, Daxie. Me and Daxie were gonna hunker down with a big high dollar action film, and I didn't remember what the hell I was even making. I'd actually cooked something for myself. I think I might have made a steak or something, and threw in the movie, had the food cooking. I had one, had another one, had another one, and it's like, I remember it was, maybe I'm weird, but I know I'm weird. But I'm sitting on the couch, and Dax is like sitting right alongside me. I remember looking over at her. Hey, why don't you go get me a beer? And then when she wouldn't, I realized I had to go do it myself. And I'm like, okay, fine, wait right here. I'll go get myself one. And I remember getting up off the couch and like sort of dividing the doorway like in half, and I was like, ouch. Look at the bottle. It was like 9.8%, or that was those Lion Stout. Yeah, that was a interesting. That damn dog. If she had actually wanted a beer, I know she would have gone and gotten one. It's being difficult. See, there you go. It's pretty much all I need to say. I don't know why, but those other two are sitting like two cheeseburgers. Dinner's ready. Oh, that's okay. I'm full. I had beer. Nice. You know what I'm saying? Hey, did I mention I really liked the way that turned out? I wasn't sure, honestly. I consulted a few people as to their thoughts on if I should put a break on there. And then I just finally decided to, leave it to Bill. And I got to give credit where credit is due. He's a good guy, and he pays a lot of attention to detail, and definitely has reasonable rates. I wish he had a website that I could turn you on to, but he is as old school as old school gets. I mean, wouldn't even surprise. I saw it today, so I know it's not. But if he had a dial telephone, it wouldn't have surprised me. He just doesn't want to spend a lot of time and a lot of money on shit he doesn't do or need. He's a gunsmith and specializes in that, and that's all he's worried about. But yeah, he was even, like, for instance, I realized I did that nice little taper at the end, and I did a target crown on there myself, and I was actually happy when he told me that it really looked good, and I'm like, hey, thanks, man. That was just a Dremel and me. But he knew that I wanted this on there, and that's a break for a 308, and just double check to make sure that the Mosin round will fit through there, which it does. But I just told him, I said, throw some threads on. I mic'd it. I needed 710 for depth, which is 11/16. And he said that can have a crush washer, and I'm like, yes. So he compensated for that. Then he called me, and he's just like, well, the barrel, the amount of material on the end, because the barrel is tapering so much, wasn't sure if he wanted it done because he was going to have to take a 1/2 inch off the barrel. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I think that still comes up to, I haven't put a tape measure on it, but I originally cut it And once you put the comp back on there, I'm sure you're probably still close to 23.5 or so inches. I'd measure it. I could measure it. The easiest way right now is if it's 23.5 inches, that means it's easy math. Actually, it's 23.5 of Travis's penis length. Oh, and the scope crossfire. That one had 3 different choices on reticles. There was a one that you could just get with a crosshairs and a dot that lit up. Thought that was cool, but for a bench rest gun, I got the bullet drop compensator in it. So right now it has been bore sighted for 100 yards, which is what you're supposed to do with that. And I don't know, bore sight it for 100 yards, and then if you shoot to 200, I think it's 200 out to 600, it just has the little dots below it, which you would aim at. It does work pretty good, just for the fun of it. I have a neighbor, which would be a block and a half away, and I wasn't even on full power, and I was able to read a note that they have on their door: "No Jehovah's Witnesses." That's funny. They must have a problem. I just come to the door with a 45 in my belt line, and they're like, "Oh, wrong house." Okay. Yeah, this with all the alcohol is slowing me down just a little bit. Not to mention the other two. It's like, holy cow! I just like feel like I slammed that 40. Besides that, with all the alcohol on this, this would be like the your college days to see about slamming it. This honestly is something that even with the last one, you know, it's like enjoy it. You know, it's kind of like the sipping whiskey of beer. Yeah, the alcohol kind of is wrapped up in kind of a floral kind of notes right there at that point in time. But this is just like, if the 60 is this, the 90 is twice as intense and flavored, and then this is just a doubling again for, maybe not doubling on everything. The sweetness, this is definitely a lot sweeter than the 90. And the alcohol, oh, you don't notice it on the 90, but you definitely notice it on this, mainly in the warming. And it just has a heavy mouthfeel to it. Yeah, I know, but I can just like get a chair and the bush girl. It was the bush girl. Who gives a shit about the Mosin? I'm really glad I'm honestly, I'm really glad I decided to have them thread the end of that and put the comp on there. I realized that would be another thing that some people would have issue with, but again, I'm gonna tailor everything to what I like and what I want to see. You know, screw someone that doesn't like it, or they're gonna have their own comment. Like I said, you want to go out and, oh, those really limited and rare Mosin Nagants, you know, a zillion of them were made and zillion are still available, and I can tell you right now, if you want, I can hook you up with a company that will just ship you, 100 of them packed in Cosmoline and wooden crates. So boo-hoo to anyone that thinks that defiling it is something. For me, I got the best of both worlds. I got that one, and I've got that one. Having an opportunity right now to go shoot, that would be the one that I would take. But I definitely will have that one with, just because I want to see. Well, first of all, I want to see what this one is like as far as felt recoil goes compared to that. Because like I said, I didn't get that just because it was shiny and had holes in the side of it and looked cool. I got it because two different people that had separate reviews said that they personally thought there was a 50% drop in felt recoil by using that. And for a bench gun, that just means you're onto the next shot a little faster if you're doing something for speed. If you're just doing something for accuracy, it really doesn't matter. But I think the cool factor is right there. And I thought it was a. Do you contemplate for a second polishing the mount and all that? But I just figured out. Oh, here's the next question for you guys. Because I probably won't ask it in the form of a question on the e-balmy side. Is the stock? Get these First of all, I can honestly say I'm not overly sure about my my thoughts on the kind of proprietary peel and stick little shoulder pad that ATI sends. But it's on there now. So the question is whoops. See that that stock as it is. Yeah. Muzzle brake. Sorry, I digress. The stock. The question I'm having on the stock is leave it black or do something to it. And one of the things I'm actually thinking about is Jim, Hornet Fixer, Florida custom weapon finishing, maybe having them and it'll grow up, having them beer fridge. Having Florida weapon do something to that stock. And one of the things I've been kind of kicking around is white or a red skull pattern, and I believe all of the scullies would be red or white, and then everything else would be left black. That's just one of the things I've been kicking around. Or, you know, of course, the downside to something like that is, of course, you're, got shooting season coming up, and, winter. Oh, of course. Got shooting season coming up, and all the snow decides to give up, and it would be it'd be gone at least the time it takes them to do the work, and it's a 3 week for it to dry. That's what Christine's Slimer green, zombie green shit for her AR. 3 weeks. From the time they're done, 3 weeks. Don't even ship it back to me early, because I'm gonna want to put it together and goof off with it. So you're looking at a month and a half that you're going to be without it, and that's kind of the thing I'm thinking about. So if I come up with an idea or something that I really like, or you know, viewer's choice, I might just keep it in my hands and through the shoot this year. But I definitely will have this out for the guys to try, and then after the shoot, maybe that's when it would be broke down and sent off, and maybe have Florida Weapons do something to it. In my brain, I was originally thinking the white skull print would be really cool, but since then I've actually seen the red version of it, and oh, that excuse me, that looked really good. Man, that's just, it is. It's like the beer version of a good scotch or a good whiskey. It's just more enjoyed sipped than gulped. It's just a lot of intensity to it. So, okay, I'm just gonna call that a wrap there and go finish this up. And again, Ms. Bomi was gonna be making some spaghetti tonight. Last time she made spaghetti, she made a big batch and froze some of the sauce. So tonight she had thawed it out and is making some of her Italian meatballs, and I'm planning on doing. I already did what I did last time, and I wanted to pick up the intensity just a little bit. Our local deli has everything from the ghost pepper sausage to cayenne, but they had some Cajun this time around, and he said that actually was a little bit bolder, so I decided to do that. So that's when I cut that up and put it in the spaghetti. So tomorrow, what should we do tomorrow? Tomorrow's Monday, one of my favorite days. Actually, I'll be giving my friend Greg a hand with a couple of different projects. So makes the day go fast. It's always fun. Last week he asked me to build some custom shelves for over a counter in a kitchen, and it was great because I personally think when you keep this mushy gray thing going, it's a lot more fun than being stuck in some mundane thing. And I one of those things where it's like, okay, you start with a frame, and then you add oak straight, and then you add some strips, and then you add some quarter round, and I didn't like the way some of that stuff looked, so I ended up hand making a bunch of stuff. So that was, day goes pretty fast, and it's always nice when you look at your watch and go, ah shit, I wanted to get this done before I left today, and I have to pick up the pace. Any of you guys that have a job where you think it's whatever you're being paid that it's unfair, that's my goal, is to find something where I really think I'm screwing somebody over because it's like so much fun and yet they're paying me to do it. So tomorrow, what do I have left from somebody? Somebody stop me. Clown shoes. This is something from Joe. Yeah, let's look at the the Tramp stamp. Belgian style IPA. No comment. What we got? Alcohol 7% on this guy. Like a stamp on a tramp. This beer is about not so subtle, soft but complex malts, yeast, sweet orange peel. As long as this doesn't taste anything like full moon shit. Amaretto, hops, Belgian IPA. Well, this definitely sounds like it could be unique. So let's take a look at this tomorrow. You guys have a good Sunday. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna roll the stool over and just sit and look at the Mosin. It's been a long time getting it all completely together and really digging it. Interested in what you guys think. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.